with winter, I find myself buying more books, and it's just a season which invites going into a cozy bookshop like this and picking out a few classics, a few new ones, and something to take home and to curl up with. I stay in a cottage in Melville, which has no heating, and I use literature to keep warm. I changed my literature according to season, quite simply because winter is one of those long, dark, and rather uninviting seasons to be outside, so there's plenty of time to curl up inside with a nice thick volume on nice, thick, heavy matters, whereas summer makes you want to step outside, spend time on the beach, out in the sun, and you need something lighter. My recommendations for winter reading is to revisit Emily Bronte's Wuthering Heights, always a classic, and to dip into Aravinda Adiga's Between the Assassinations, which is a wonderful novel capturing very important aspects of contemporary Indian society. Happy reading!
Morning. Hi, I'm Ciro Molinaro from La Cucina in Parktown North, 43 7th Avenue. I've been in the business a long time, and I'm preparing specifically today a winter dish that is extremely popular in our restaurant. We're doing braised oxtail in the oven with red wine, rosemary, garlic, and tomato, and this is how we prepare it. First of all, we take the oxtail, and we have big pieces of oxtail which we have to trim off. We take all the fat off, and then we're going to season it and roast it in the oven. So we take a little bit of paprika to give it a bit of color when we roast it. We take some salt, just season it with a bit of salt. Here we have some chopped fresh rosemary and some crushed black pepper. You don't have to put any oil on because it's quite fatty. But the important thing with any form of meat is to seal it first so that you keep the juices inside and you keep the juices of the oxtail and you make it soft and tender. Now we've roasted the oxtail and it's nice and brown and seasoned and been sealed very nicely. As you can see, on the meat, there's very little fat on here, so there's very little fat in the pan, but enough to roast the vegetables. The onion we just chop very finely because we don't want big chunks of onion with the oxtail. And we put that all together with the oxtail so that it can roast together. Right, so we've roasted the oxtail in the oven with the leeks, the carrots, and the celery. You can see it's nice and brown. We're now going to add the red wine, the tomato, a little bit of garlic, a little bit more to give it more flavor, and some veg stock. Right, we are ready. We're now going to take a tin foil, cover it, make sure it's nice and secure underneath, and you wrap it tightly. And this is like a pressure cooker, but it's going to slow cook at about 140, 160 in the oven for at least 4 to 5 hours. Now comes the important part that we're going to enjoy ourselves a little bit, where you get your hands a little bit dirty. The important thing here is that the oxtail is a little bit cooler, so we've let it cool down, and we can take the oxtail off the bone. This dish has been unbelievably popular in our restaurant, that whenever we do deboned oxtail with fresh fettuccine, invariably it sells out at the end of the evening, and we go through tons of oxtail over the period of winter. We're going to strain the stock in the pan to make the pasta. Taste-wise, fantastic. Right, we've got the fresh pasta tossed with the oxtail and red wine and tomato, and we're now going to plate the pasta ready to eat. And we're going to put some Parmesan cheese on top, shavings of Parmesan, and a little bit of chopped chives just for presentation. And this is our fettuccine oxtail that we've been making. Bon appetit.